It's the news. Local glioblastoma patients in St. Lucie County feared they'd hear reports of even more cases.
We first broke the story about 11 people living in Fort Pierce who were diagnosed over the last 5 years.
And since then, many of you have reached out to Megan McRoberts saying the numbers are much higher. Megan?
Yeah, well, my count has now gone up to about 30 glioblastoma cases. Of course, that number going up once we broaden the area we're looking at to be not just Fort Pierce, but the entire area of St. Lucie County. And all of those cases also diagnosed within just about the last 5 years or so. I have not included in my count everyone who has contacted me, though I've still reached out to people to get a little bit better idea of when they were diagnosed and exactly where they live. But once we hear back from them, we will see if that number will continue to rise. It's a brutal, deadly, aggressive cancer, and compared to many other cancers, glioblastoma is considered rare.
You hear about cancer all the time, but you never hear no glioblastoma, no.
Kevin Perry has lived in Fort Pierce for more than 40 years. He was diagnosed with glioblastoma last year, shortly after he had a seizure.
Take it day by day.
Some days you feel like you're brand new, and the next day it feels like it's all over you.
Patients and loved ones of those battling the disease want to know if their cases warrant an investigation, or is it all just a coincidence?
I would like to know if there's something going on, or is it just getting more prevalent?
In just the last 2 days, I've received more messages like these, adding to our count of local cases. An aunt who died 2 years ago and lived in Fort Pierce. Someone who worked in Fort Pierce for 20 years and died in 2014. A mother diagnosed 4 years ago, and a friend dying 3 years ago in Port St. Lucie.
It's definitely high. Is that a coincidence? I don't know.
This was neurosurgeon Dr. Colin's reaction when we talked to him Thursday.
7, 8.
At that time, our count was around 13 cases. Other doctors also contacting me through email expressing their own concerns, suspecting something has been contributing to the illnesses for potentially decades, not only in St. Lucie County, but around the Treasure Coast.
Definitely want more tests.
So moving forward, I am, of course, keeping local health officials up to date with anything I am finding. I'm also working with some local doctors who are helping me access as many resources as possible to get the most accurate count of local diagnosis rates. We're hoping to have more updates on those numbers for you next week. Reporting live in St. Lucie County, I'm Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.